We've been talking about the previous episode. Um, from we talk about Paul George's 25-game suspension. We talk about Thunder beating the Nuggets 2 days ago from last year's rematch. Knicks beat the Lakers. Clint Kupiec becomes the Raiders head coach after the Super Bowl. Mike LaFleur is now Arizona Cardinals head coach. So today we got a crazy, I would say crazy show here. So what's in store in today's JDB's morning cap? And we say good morning, everyone. This is JDB's morning cap. Today is Tuesday, February 4th, 2026. We got a lot of things to talk about today. I know how much I'm looking forward in today's morning cap. So let's get this thing started, shall we? Start with the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks in the Super Bowl for the first time since 2014-15 season. Last time Seattle was in the Super Bowl, Russell Wilson threw an interception to Malcolm Butler on Super Bowl 49 on February 1st, 2015. That was the last time Seattle had made a trip to the Super Bowl. And now, 11 years later, here they are. The Seattle Seahawks are in the Super Bowl for the first time since 2014-15 season. So here's my question. How the Seattle Seahawks got to the Super Bowl? So Mike McDonald entered his second season as Seahawks head coach after he spent numerous of seasons as a Ravens defensive coordinator. So now, making the Super Bowl in the second year is so crucial. So, how the Seahawks got to the Super Bowl? Like I said, the Seahawks, with a regular season record 14-3, and they were the number one seed. The Seahawks were a Super Bowl team for a reason. They got one of the best defenses in the league. They have the best scoring defense the entire football. They give up the fewest points in football. That's the key. The key is you generate a lot of good matchups against the offensive players. But You talk about who has been the great. So who's a we've seen good defensive players so far this year, like Devin Witherspoon, Kobe Bryant, Julian Love, Nick Imamori, Jaron Reed, Leonard Williams, Boy Math, Ernest Jones, Drake Thomas. This is the biggest cornerstone of the defense, and Uchenna Nwosu, Derek Hall, Tyrese Wright. The defense has been the great dark horse throughout the years, or throughout the season, I should say. So, and then the Seahawks had signed Sam Darnold a 3-year contract, and DK Metcalf walked out and headed to Pittsburgh. So that was a fresh start for Seattle. They need the future is bright for Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he's having an incredible season. JSN is having an incredible season. Tops in yards, tops in receptions, top 5 in touchdowns. He's topping each and every receiving categories for Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's having an incredible season. I mean, he's already in the Pro Bowl, but he's in the Super Bowl. There's a replacement anyway, but JSN has been one of the biggest stories in the NFL. That's how Seattle got to the Super Bowl. The other thing how the Seattle Seahawks got to the Super Bowl is they spend one of the most paid. Actually, they spend one of the most paid money. That doesn't necessarily mean they're the highest payroll in the NFL, but they're one of the highest payrolls in the league with other teams. Not the Seahawks, but one of the highest payrolls in the NFL, other than Seattle. Seattle's payroll is like middle of the pack. Coming into the season, Seattle was supposed to win about 7 games. I like Sam Darnold, but I don't think the trust is there yet. But give him credit. Sam Darnold has won 14 games with him. That's a good sign. Sam Darnold, by the way, he went 14-3 as well with the Vikings last year. Got this team to the playoffs. This year is a little different. 14-3, and now he's getting this team to the Super Bowl. So that is 2 turnaround seasons for Sam Darnold. He's improving year by year. I mean, as far as Seattle Seahawks goes, I do not know where the Seahawks are going from here. What that even matters. So let's take a look at the Seattle Seahawks. Their best wins so far this season. They beat the Steelers in week 2. It was DK Metcalf's revenge game, by the way. He was playing Metcalf with the Steelers facing his former team. They blew out the Saints in week 3. The other best win is Jacksonville in week 6. The best win was beat the Vikings. The other best win against the Rams in week 16. And then 49ers, final game of the regular season. And then the other best win, they beat the 49ers in the divisional round. And they beat the Rams in the championship game of the NFC a couple weeks ago. So those are the best wins, key wins, how they got to the Super Bowl. The key wins means there's a bigger chance for a path to the playoffs or path to the Super Bowl. That's the key wins in the NFL. That's how the NFL Super Bowl team works. The Seahawks deserve to be in the Super Bowl because it feels like the Seahawks are clearly a good enough team to be a championship caliber performance. And then you got DeMarcus Lawrence. He has played well this year with this team. Former Cowboy himself. But let's go back to the old school memories when Russell Wilson was drafted by the coach Pete Carroll. After the Seahawks missed the playoffs in 2012 season, what was the biggest need in that draft in 2012? Was it the quarterback? Yeah, it was a quarterback position that's been a weak spot throughout the years, and now they drafted Russell Wilson. The Russell Wilson effect, the early era was pretty darn good, especially the first year. Did Russell put up huge numbers in his first year? No. Was he clutch? Yes. The Seahawks have played a lot of one-score games in 2012. They play a bunch of one-score affairs in 2012. Seahawks finished 11-5 on the season. So if I can count the one-score wins, Seattle has played some one-score games. They went 11-5, including 8-0 at home. But they drop a divisional round to the Falcons. Falcons have the best record, I believe, in all of football that year, something like that. In 2013, they won 2 more games than they were in the first season, 13-3. Won the NFC West. End up winning the Super Bowl. They beat the top-rated offense of the Denver Broncos. So they went 12-4 in 2013-14 season. And Dan Quinn was a defensive coordinator that year too, before he accepted this Falcons' job in 2015. And then the next year they went 12-4. They went 12-4. They actually lost one more game than they were the previous year, but lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. Malcolm Butler with a clutch interception against Russell Wilson in Super Bowl 49. So if it wasn't for that pick, Seahawks would have won back-to-back Super Bowl champions. 2015, Seahawks went 10-6, lost divisional round to the Panthers. And then 2016, they went 10-5-1, won the division, but lost to the NFC divisional round to the Falcons again. The Seahawks have struggled against the Falcons in the playoffs. That's history. So So with Russell Wilson effect, the early era, they made the playoffs 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's five consecutive postseason appearances in 5 consecutive seasons for Russell Wilson. And then he did not miss the playoffs until the 2017-18 season. They did bring him back in 2018 with a 10-6 loss to walk around to the Cowboys. So that's 6. So Russell Wilson, and then make the playoffs in 2019, the 11-5 heartbreaking loss to 49ers. That would have put Seahawks winning division, but the Niners actually won division. End up losing the NFC divisional round to the Packers. Then the next year, they made the playoffs with a 12-4 record in the NFC West division winner. So Russell Wilson have reached the postseason 8 of the first 9 seasons. Make it 8 of 10 in 2021 and missed the playoffs. 2021 was his last year as a quarterback. And then in 2022, Seattle did make the playoffs. They missed the next 2. So since Wilson left, Seahawks only made the postseason just twice over the last 4 years. So that's a shocking one. That is a shocking one. The most. So since Russell Wilson left, it's been Geno Smith. It's been Drew Lock. And then now it's Sam Darnold. So this is a different story about the Seattle Seahawks. Now the Seahawks are Super Bowl bound for the first time in 11 years. Can't wait to get started, man. All right, so let's move on from this. When we come back, we have a shocking news from last night about the Clippers and the Cavs situation. We'll talk about that. And then we're going to name the last 59 Super Bowl MVPs. And then NFL Honors is multiple days away. And then we got the Patriots, how the Patriots got to the Super Bowl. We'll step away in about 3 minutes. All right, so we have breaking news of the NBA. The Clippers and Cavaliers are discussing James Harden and Darius Garland swap. But the deal is still work in progress, whether or not if the deal is finished. So they'll have to find out in a couple of days, as trade deadline is looming large right now. All right, so is there a chance that both Garland and Harden trade could make the deal completed by Thursday? Well, if quite honest with you, I think the deal could be done this Thursday. So maybe before that. So there's a chance they could be traded between either tonight or tomorrow night. So if the trade goes down by tomorrow night before the deadline, then this could be it for James Harden. He might have played his last game as a Clipper. So, I mean, that's why Harden had stepped away from the team, because he felt like he is going to move on from the Clippers and going to work with Donovan Mitchell with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Darius Garland, he's still injured. If he does get traded, he's still going to be out for about another month or so. I'm not sure when Darius Garland's coming back, but this is a really difficult decision for the front office for either of these teams. They gotta make a critical decision whether or not they should make this deal. Well, let me say about the Los Angeles Clippers. They feel like the decision of James Harden being traded, he said, "I'm afraid I have to start letting you go." But it is difficult right now. It is 100% difficult, to say the least. There's no questions asked. You really felt like there's teams you can put them in prime position to will against team to get to the playoffs. If James Harden does get traded for a high leverage contending team, Cavs are currently the number 5 seed right now. They're tied for the number 4 seed, but the Raptors get a tiebreaker based on better head-to-head record against them. The Cavs have the same record as the Raptors. So James Harden would be the right fit. The 76ers are in the trail as well for the top seeds in the East. But don't look now. Charlotte has won 7 games in a row. They can easily get this team to the playoffs or in the play-in tournament. Cleveland's clearly a scary team. Although the first round is so important. This is you're unsure. This is a difficult matchup for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavaliers would face the Raptors in the first round of the playoffs. But James Harden may need Cleveland for sure. Russell Westbrook may need someone too. Well, now you got Donovan Mitchell. So this is critical. This is absolutely critical for Cleveland and the Clippers. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this is going to pan out for James Harden and Darius Garland. But the James Harden's future is still looming. Where is James Harden's going to go? Cleveland? Is that the best destination you had? This is the best destination you have. Something you have to ensure it. So yeah, the best case scenario is James Harden could be traded ahead of the deadline with Darius Garland. I seen this is going to happen for sure. So if James Harden does get traded to the Cavs, it'll be Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, and Jared Allen. Speaking of Jared Allen, he had a 40-point piece the other night. He had 40 points for the Cavs the other night. I think this game is about the trenching of this, you trenching you guys of the opponents, because you guys have been dealing with the opponents every single time. And then for Darius Garland, if Darius Garland goes to the Clippers, he's still going to be injured. He's still going to be out. He's still going to be out. He could come back by end of next month, end of this month, starting next month, something like that. I'm not sure the Clippers will be dangerous again down the stretch of this season. They have played well over the last month and a half or so. Timeout. Okay, so the trade deadline was looming in a couple of days. Like I said, James Harden and Darius Garland deal is going to come to play in the next couple of days. So I believe the trade deadline has, let's talk not just James Harden and Darius Garland deal. We're going to talk about the trade deadline elsewhere in the NBA. Giannis, we already talked about Giannis and James Harden situation. What's going to happen for the rest of the NBA teams in general? Like I said, there's only 20 teams, up to 20 teams for possible contending teams could be at the deadline. Only 20 teams in the NBA could be traded. Roughly 22. At the deadline, it's an issue right now. It must be at the trade deadline. Yeah, like I said, 20 teams could be contending, maybe 22. It depends. All right, so we're gonna move on. When we come back on this JDB's morning cap, we're going to talk about the last 59 Super Bowl MVPs. We'll name them. And then we'll talk NFL honors, who walks out the MVP on Thursday. And then how the Patriots got to the Super Bowl. And also coming up, Cooper Flagg squares off Jaylen Brown between the Celtics at Mavericks. And then we'll update Robert Kraft's whether or not he selected the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll step away about 5 more minutes. All right, welcome back, y'all. This is JDB's Morning Cap. Let's take a look at the first 59 Super Bowl MVPs. But before we do that, I just want to know who will be your 60th Super Bowl MVP. But the most Super Bowl MVPs has Tom Brady with 5. But we had like notable ones like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, Eli Manning, Terry Bradshaw, Bart Starr. So let's take a look at the Super Bowl MVPs, including one that's ended up losing the game. So the game that should have won. Super Bowl 1, Bart Starr. Super Bowl 2, Bart Starr. Super Bowl 3, Joe Namath. Super Bowl 4, Lynn Dawson. Super Bowl 5, Chuck Howley. End up losing the game. Super Bowl 6, Roger Staubach. Super Bowl 7, Jake Scott. Super Bowl 8, Larry Kasanka. Super Bowl 9, the late Franco Harris. Super Bowl 10, Lynn Swann. Super Bowl 11, Is it Fred Belenkoff? Yeah, Super Bowl 11, Fred Belenkoff. Super Bowl 12, combined Super Bowl MVPs has Harvey Martin and Randy Wright were co-MVPs of the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 13, Terry Bradshaw. Also Terry Bradshaw in Super Bowl 14. Super Bowl 15, Jim Plunkett. Super Bowl 16, Joe Montana. Super Bowl 17, John Riggins. Super Bowl 18, Marcus Allen. Super Bowl 19, Joe Montana. Super Bowl 20, Richard Dent. Super Bowl 21, Phil Simms. Super Bowl 22, Doug Williams. Super Bowl 23, Jerry Rice. Super Bowl 24, Joe Montana. Super Bowl 25, Otis Anderson. Super Bowl 26, Mark Rypien. Super Bowl 27, Troy Aikman. Super Bowl 28, Emmitt Smith. Super Bowl 29, Steve Young. Super Bowl 30, Larry Brown. Super Bowl 31, Desmond Howard. Super Bowl 32, Terrell Davis. Super Bowl 33, John Elway. Super Bowl 34, Kurt Warner. Super Bowl 35, Ray Lewis. Super Bowl 36, Tom Brady. Super Bowl 37, Dexter Jackson. Super Bowl 38, Tom Brady. Super Bowl 39, Deion Branch. Super Bowl 40, Hines Ward. Super Bowl 41, Peyton Manning. Super Bowl 42, Eli Manning. That was the first time in the NFL history, by the way. It's back-to-back players with two different names end up winning a Super Bowl MVP in the same position in two different teams. Super Bowl 43, Santonio Holmes. Super Bowl 44, Drew Brees. Super Bowl 45, Aaron Rodgers. Super Bowl 46, Eli Manning again. Super Bowl 47, Joe Flacco. Super Bowl 48, Malcolm Smith. Super Bowl 49, Tom Brady. Super Bowl 50, Von Miller. Super Bowl 51, Tom Brady. Super Bowl 52, Nick Foles. Super Bowl 53, Julian Edelman. Super Bowl 54, Patrick Mahomes. Super Bowl 55, Tom Brady. That's his fifth and his final Super Bowl MVP of his career. Super Bowl 56, Cooper Kupp. Super Bowl 57, Patrick Mahomes. Super Bowl 58, Patrick Mahomes again. And then Super Bowl 59, Jalen Hurts. So let's take a look at the most Super Bowl MVPs by a team in the NFL history. Cowboys with 7, Steelers with 6, Patriots with 6 as well, Niners with 5, Packers with 4, Giants with 4, Chiefs with 4, Raiders with 3, Washington also 3, Denver with 3. So, how about this? We have 34 Super Bowl MVPs by a quarterback. So, Tom Brady still owns 5 Super Bowl MVPs. That's the most in the history. Tied with 3, tied with number 2 with three MVPs of the Super Bowl, Joe Montana and Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes wins his 4th MVP, he'll become the 2nd place Super Bowl MVP in the history of the NFL if he wins his next Super Bowl MVP. If the Chiefs do intend to win a Super Bowl. So Super Bowl MVPs are one of the greatest awards in the history of the game. Super Bowl MVP is one of the most common themes in sports in general. Now let's talk about who's the favorite to win the Super Bowl MVP as of right now. Number 1 is Sam Darnold, number 1. Number 2 is Drake May. Number 3, Kenneth Walker. Number 4, Jackson Smith-Njigba. On the Patriots side, Christian Gonzalez, Stephon Diggs. List goes on and on. Who will be your Super Bowl MVP this year? Sam Darnold might be the favorite to win it because I think he has a chance to prove he had a great game last couple of weeks ago. So hopefully that would be the case there. All right, so when we come back, we'll talk about NFL awards. NFL honors is a couple of days away. We'll talk who is the real MVP? And then also coming up, how the Patriots got to the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that as well. And then Jaylen Brown will square off against Cooper Flagg. Celtics at Mavericks in the Big D tonight. And then we'll talk about Robert Kraft, whether or not he's selected a first-ballot Hall of Fame. We'll find out in about 3 to 5 minutes. We'll step away. All right, welcome back on to JDB's Morning Cap. Let's talk about the NFL honors. NFL honors is 2 days away. All right, so we'll find out who will be your MVPs. For this season. So we'll find out who will be candidate. Who will be your first? Who will be the MVP of this? So let's take a closer look. Who takes a serious nod? So right now, it's Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and Christian McCaffrey. So who do you think who deserves to be an MVP in 2025-26? I think Drake May deserves to be an MVP because I think there's a lot of things to circulate what transpires this season. I mean, Drake May, he had an impressive regular season. I mean, I believe he continues to amaze anybody when this team comes out, plays a huge amount of confidence. But it's about inside franchise relationship. But if Drake, I think Drake May deserves to win the MVP because I think there's a lot of things that going at the plate. Carried this team to the Super Bowl. Now they got to battle against another top defense. I know he struggled in the postseason, but I think he still got a chance to win the MVP. But despite the fact it's a chaotic race, yes, I said it all the time. It hasn't been chaotic for years, but I do know this. We talk about the MVPs. We talk about Drake May be part of this list. They could put this one there. Drake May finished 4,844 total yards, 35 total touchdowns. That's a good, and including 450 rushing yards. It's a good number. Matthew Stafford on the other end, he finished 4,708 total yards, 46 total touchdowns, which is a pretty good stat as well. I mean, you got Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence, and Josh Allen. For Josh Allen, another strong year. Now he continues to improve year by year. There's no getting around it. I think this team can carry it for the next few years out. I mean, this is what's gonna happen for the next 6-7 years. They can really take that. You would take it this way about this one here. So I believe MVP candidates are really it's going to help their own cause in this one here. I think that's putting it there. All right, so we're going to keep going here. Let's talk about the New England Patriots. We're going to talk about the New England Patriots right now. How the Patriots got to the Super Bowl. So how the Patriots got to the Super Bowl, the team has gone from 2 back-to-back 4-13 seasons to the number 2 seed in the AFC with a 14-3 record. So, you know what's ironic for the New England Patriots? The Patriots should have been a number 1 seed, and they weren't the number 1 seed because the common record. The Raiders beat the Patriots to open up this season. The Broncos beat the Raiders not once, but twice. So that's the difference. The Patriots and the Broncos have the same record, but the Broncos earned a tiebreaker because of a common game against them. Broncos beat the Raiders twice. Raiders beat the Raiders beat the Patriots to start the season. So that's how the Patriots were the number 2 seed. if it wasn't for that loss to the Raiders, they would have been the number 1 seed by going forward. But they're the number 2 seed in the AFC. But it worked out. You know what's ironic? Seattle lost to start the year too. I believe that's the first time in NFL history that 2 teams started the season in a loss. The 2 teams who missed the playoffs a year ago and end up making the Super Bowl. That is a rare history. For the Patriots, ironically, this is the second postseason appearance since Brady left. This is the second postseason appearance over the last 6 years. So, since Brady left, Patriots in 2020 they went 7-9. Missed the playoffs. In 2021, they went 10-7. Make the playoffs, lost to walk around to the Buffalo Bills. 2022, they went 8-9. Missed the playoffs. In 2023 and 2024, they went 4-13 in back-to-back seasons. And then this year, 14-3, making the Super Bowl, 1 division for the first time since 2019. You know what's ironic, though? Patriots and the Chiefs have made the playoffs almost every year. Or correction, Patriots and the Chiefs have made a Super Bowl almost every year now. So it started since 2017-18 season. Patriots 2017-18 lost the Super Bowl to the Eagles. 18-19 Patriots won the Super Bowl against the Rams. And then 1920 is the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. In 2021, Chiefs lost the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers. But 1920, they won the Super Bowl against the Niners. Neither Chiefs nor the Patriots have went to the Super Bowl. However, Chiefs did. It was the Bengals making the Super Bowl, end up losing to the Rams. 22-23 is the Chiefs, won the Super Bowl against the Eagles. 23-24 Chiefs, they beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl as well. And then 24-25 Chiefs lost the Super Bowl to the Eagles. And now this year, it's the Patriots. Win or loss, question mark. So, the teams who made a Super Bowl has named either the Patriots or the Chiefs since 2017-18 season. The teams who made the AFC Championship game since 17-18. Actually, since 2016 or 2015, something like that. Actually started 2013-14. Actually, the last time we have not named either the Patriots or Chiefs in the AFC Championship game was 2010, 2011. It was Jets Steelers. Since then, it's been Patriots Ravens twice, 2011, 2012. Patriots Broncos twice, 2014. Correction, 2013 and 2015 AFC Championship game. Then Patriots Colts 2014 season. Patriots Steelers 2016, 2017 was Patriots Jaguars. 2018 was Patriots Chiefs. 2019 was Chiefs Titans. 2020 was Chiefs Bills. 2021 was Chiefs Bengals. 22 Chiefs Bengals as well. 2023 Chiefs Ravens. 2024 Chiefs and the Bills. 2025 Patriots and the Broncos. I believe that's 15 consecutive years that the AFC Championship game appearance has been named by either the Patriots or the Chiefs. It has to do with the Brady and the Belichick era and the Mahomes and the Reed era. But Drake May and Mike Vrabel, well, was a quarterback and head coaching duo. That was their first season together. So it's been 15 consecutive years since they have not named by the Patriots or the Chiefs appear in the AFC Championship game. It's been 15 they've gone 15 consecutive seasons. They have named either the Patriots or the Chiefs appearing to the AFC Championship game, and and large part who have faced them each other multiple times. Chiefs have played the Bills multiple times. Chiefs and Bills have played multiple. Chiefs and Bills play multiple times. Chiefs Bengals played multiple times. The AFC Championship game. Patriots and Ravens play multiple times. Patriots Broncos multiple times. Those are the opponents for the AFC Conference Championship game. As for New England, how the Patriots are 14-3. Drake May had a phenomenal year. The defense is one of the best in the NFL. And now the Patriots have a better chance to win a championship with this better talented roster. This roster has been better over the last few. This roster has been one of the better. They have one of the better rosters over the last 6 years. They sign veterans. They draft some guys. That contributed to the Super Bowl season. Now, the bound is pretty darn different to me. You cannot destroy anything else. You can trust it to believe that. It is really hard to believe to get things around it. So it's not going to change a lot in that one. All right, so now let's keep going with the Patriots for a couple more minutes. Let's backtrack how the Patriots went back-to-back 4-13 seasons. The Patriots decided to move on from Bill Belichick after the 2023-24 season. They went 4-13, and they decided to hand it over to Jerod Mayo. The Jerod Mayo effect did not work out. Ended up getting fired after one season, even though he drafted Drake May, and they brought Jacoby Brissett back. The effect just hasn't been there. The skill position just hasn't been there. So they decided to hire Mike Vrabel to try to straighten this franchise out. It has worked. They're now now there's a lot of teams that have gone from worst to first. The Bears, Jaguars. Who else has gone from worst to first? There's several of those. The Panthers. Panthers were part from worst to first. So this was a good moment in the NFL. The teams are going from worst to first. So we'll find out which team has gone from where's the first in 2026? I guess we're going to have to find out later on this year. All right. I believe it's time me to move on from this. Come next, we're going to have Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics will square off Cooper Flagg, the rookie sensation of the Dallas Mavericks. The game is in American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Celtics first night of the back-to-back before they head to Houston tomorrow. The Mavericks trying to fight their way to the play-in. It's been a rough season for the Dallas Mavericks. And also coming up next, we'll talk, is Robert Kraft selecting into a first-ballot Pro Football Hall of Fame? We'll find out in about 3 minutes. Oh, welcome back here. The Jaylen Brown, the Boston Celtics will take on the injury-prone Mavericks in Dallas. Tip-off begins tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. You can see on NBC, coast to coast. Game one of the coast to coast doubleheader. Celtics are 31-18. The Mavericks are 19-30. Pedestrian 19-30 record. So the Mavericks are shorthanded. We'll get to that in a second. All right, so let's start with the Boston Celtics first. The Celtics are 31-18 on the season. Jaylen Brown, incredible season continues. We already know who is Jaylen Brown and who is capable of. The Boston Celtics. It's not just about Jaylen Brown. It's about every player on this team. At least each and every player on this team, like Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Anthony Simons. Who else has been part of it? Queta. But the Celtics have continued to impress. We know they have 18 losses on the year. It's understandable. They had Jason Tatum out with an injury. I'm not sure when he's coming back. But I do know this. The Celtics will be the top 3 in the East. So how's this going to pan out in 2025-26 season? When I look for the Boston Celtics season, their trust is there. The trustworthy is there because I think you talk about they're one of the most prolific three-point shooting teams in a game. They love to take threes. They love to take it, and they love to knock down threes. They knock down a lot of threes as well. It's a good sign for the team, and good sign for Joe Mazzulla. He's a hell of a coach than this. But you exactly really want to know how good the Celtics are. Yes, they're the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Yes, they've been going through some injuries early in the season, but they had some. The next man up mentality has worked as planned. The other next man up mentality that I've seen in the most this season. The player that I like what I saw. We talk about Peyton Pritchard, Luka Garza, Jordan Walsh, Baylor Shireman, Nemias Queta, Sam Hauser. Somebody has to step up other than Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Peyton Pritchard. But getting Tatum back is going to be crucial if they choose this way. If they choose Jason Tatum to return later this season, it might be huge. And there's a better chance they can come out of the East once again. Even Detroit is the best complete team in the entire conference. So you already expand your differences whatsoever. I think the Celtics are clearly the better team to contend with the Pistons. If Jason Tatum's healthy enough, then they have a shot. If not, I'm not sure. All right, as for the Dallas Mavericks, it has been a tumultuous season. They're 19-30. They're the Mavericks. It's been an up and down season for Dallas. Cooper Flagg is having a hell of a rookies. He's having a hell of a year. But how about Cooper Flagg? Look at the numbers over the last time they played was Saturday against the Rockets. He played 39 minutes. He scored 34 points and 12 rebounds. Ended up losing by 4 to Houston on the road. So the close losses have hurt the Mavericks this season. The Mavericks have lost the most clutch games in the NBA. They're going to keep them close. I think the game is going to be close tonight as well. But we talk about the Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg, he scored 49 on January 29th, ended up losing that game. He knocked down 20 shots. That was his career high. So he's gone back to back 30-point double, 10 plus rebounds, double. I believe for the first time in his career. For the first time in his career, Cooper Flagg has gone 30-point, 10 plus rebound, double in back-to-back games. And both end up losing that game. They both end up losing decided by 4 points or less in each of their last 2 games. Cooper Flagg is going to win the Rookie of the Year. He's put up big-time numbers this year. If he stays healthy and plays most games, then he's got a shot to win the Rookie of the Year. It doesn't matter if it's really hard to turning out in a different manners at this point on. So if Cooper Flagg likes these guys right now, he's only 19 years old. He's a teenager. But I love what he does best. Just get to the rim. Hopefully he can knock down some threes. And that would be huge for him at this one year. So thanks to that. All right, so who am I picking tonight? Celtics or the Mavericks? I picked the Celtics to win tonight. Celtics play first night of back-to-back in Dallas tomorrow. They'll be in Houston to face Kevin Durant. You know what's ironic though? Every former Thunder player has played the Rockets. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant has played with Houston. Former Thunder player has played with the Houston Rockets. All right, let's talk about the biggest news of the day. Robert Kraft, we just made it official. Robert Kraft has not select a Pro Football Hall of Fame. So Robert Kraft will not be selected this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's just disappointing. It hasn't been a disappointing week for the Patriots for not selecting neither Belichick nor Kraft inducting to their Hall of Fames. Yeah, it is disappointing. It's hurt. That is going to hurt. That is going to hurt. We'll talk more about Robert Kraft tomorrow as it develops. We'll watch the video for that, and then we'll get my reaction. So I'm gonna get a quick reaction for this, and I'll save more tomorrow. My reaction was it's been a sad week for the Patriots fans not inducting two legends into the Hall of Fame, Kraft and Belichick. The only way they should have done is get more votes, get about 10, 25 more votes to get to like 40 to 50 votes to elect these guys in the Hall of Fame. They didn't get enough. They did not get enough votes for this. They just didn't. They did not get enough votes between Kraft and Belichick. It's really hard. All right, let's wrap things up here. We'll talk Robert Kraft tomorrow. That's what I said. What's coming up in tomorrow's episode? We'll recap Robert Kraft's Hall of Fame snubbed, and also we'll talk more NFL games. Actually, we'll do tell the tape between the Seahawks and the Patriots, I should say. And we'll preview the two games tomorrow between the Nuggets and the Knicks and the Thunder Spurs. And then we'll have some and then trade deadline of the NBA is just one day away for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be one day away from the NBA trade deadline. So we're looking forward for the rest of this week. All right, that's it for this. This is JDB's Morning Cap. It's time to go and have a great day. So long.